Welcome to the Speakers Lounge. I am Meridith Grundy. I'm here every first Monday of the month at 12 noon Eastern to give you visionary insights on how to show up as a communicator and as a speaker in the world. And boy, is the world changing. So there are many things that you as a speaker, I feel, need to know in order to really stand into your greatness and connect better with your audiences. And so today, I'm really excited because we have Bobbie Carlton back with Innovation Women, and then we have Emily Green, and both of them are doing incredible things and bringing together community so that you can better prepare and also have that foundation for how to grow as a speaker. And I'll let each one of them define the type of speakers that are a part of those communities, because there are many different types of speakers. And then also what I love about the two of them is they have a PR background as well. So how do you advocate and find yourself opportunities as a speaker? So without further ado, I would love to introduce both of them. We're going to start off with Bobbie Carlton, and then we're going to pass that mic to Emily.
Going alphabetical.
Yeah.
All right. I always win, either first name or last name on that.
I love it.
All right. So, hi, folks. Bobbie Carlton. I'm the founder of Innovation Women. We're an online speaker platform. I call it a visibility bureau, not a traditional speakers bureau. And we work with speakers and subject matter experts. About 65% of our members are people using speaking to build a business. And so we offer speaker profiles, we offer education, we have an amazing online supportive community, and we also have piles and piles of speaking opportunities in our database.
Beautiful. Thank you. Emily.
Well, I just love that I'm part of this conversation. So thank you for having me. I'm excited. So I'm Emily. I have a long background in marketing and PR. I owned a marketing agency that I actually sold in 2024 before moving into what I do now, which is my Love Means Business brand. With that, I've got my podcast. I have a thought leadership program in my speaker support and referral community. And my community is really meant to be a promotional arm to help people who maybe want to do it themselves. Maybe they don't want to use an agency, or they are just one of those people that just prefers, booking themselves. And so I post daily 3 to 5 different speaking engagement opportunities, really focusing on paid opportunities, media opportunities, and podcast appearance inside the community for them to apply to. And then we do 2 events a month. One is really educational, and one is more focused on networking and, meeting other people in the community. But similar to Bobbie, it is that supportive thing. I really wanted a spot that thought leaders could come into and meet other heart-centered leaders. And that's really the only requirement. They can be any size business, men, women, any gender, any location, but they have to be wanting to make an impact with their voice to join my community.
Beautiful. Thank you both so much. I'm really excited for this conversation. I think it's going to have a lot of value for people. I want to start off with a question first for both of you, just so that our audiences can get to know you a little bit better. So if you were to nerd out about any topic for 30 minutes straight without any preparation, what would that topic be?
I mean, the obvious answer is public speaking.
I know.
I feel like, but I have so many other nerding out things.
Tell me one that's not public speaking that you can nerd out about.
Lord of the Rings.
No way. Tell me more.
My kids are always astonished that every once in a while I can burst forth with long snatches of prose that I memorized when I was like 10 years old. As well as a lot of the epic ballads that you find in the Silmarillion.
Oh my gosh,
Can you call? I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot. Can you recall one of those prose right now for us?
Gil-galad was an elven king, of him the harpers sadly sing, the last whose realm was fair and free beneath the mountains and the sea. But long ago he rode away, and where he dwelleth none can say. For into Mordor, no, I'm going to stop right there, okay?
Well, I
Little
applaud
prairie.
you. That was amazing. Thank you. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, Emily, same question.
I mean, probably anything like animal or pet related. I think that in a previous life, or maybe even later in this life, I'm going to have some sort of animal sanctuary um, or shelter. I love, love, love animals. So I've got only 4 right now, but I would have
Only
more
4. What are
if
they? Tell
our
me.
so 2 dogs and 2 cats. We used to have chickens and ducks, but we went a little overboard during COVID because we weren't going anywhere. And our previous
Oh no,
Oh no. I wanted to hear about the pets.
I
I
did
know.
too. Oh, that was
Back.
dramatic. I
Okay,
love the dramatic. It was that was planned.
I
Okay, go
know.
ahead.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
Dun,
But
dun, dun. What happened to the pets over COVID?
yeah, so we moved and we ended up leaving where we were because we wanted to buy a house. And unfortunately, where we live now, we have an HOA. Well, that's good in some ways, but bad for an animal person like me. So we're still working on getting approval to get chickens, but I can only have like I think 3 or something, which I'm like, what? That's not enough. But eventually, I'm gonna get land. We want to get land and have like a little farm. So yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. I love that. So the love of animals. I once had chickens too. I had 2,
I love them
Esperanza
so
and
much.
Tina. Yeah, they're very spirited animals. Yeah, it's just hard when they die.
I know they don't live like some of the breeds especially do not live very long.
Mm-mm.
But they have so much more personality than I realized. I had no idea how funny chickens
They're
are
very funny.
hilarious.
They're very funny.
Like,
Awesome. Well, thank you both for diving in and answering that question. It's really fun for our audiences to get to know you and what makes you tick outside of the things that we're also passionate about, which is public speaking. So I feel like the first question is, what do you feel like is the number one thing that most speakers are not doing well?
ooh, that's so tough because I think it depends on all speakers are also different. You know, you've got some that are extremely seasoned and then you've got some that are just starting out.
Hmm.
But I think one thing that I would say I feel like I see people miss sometimes is in how they show up with promoting themselves. It can be either it's way too much, like and it's kind of icky, too salesy territory, and it doesn't seem authentic,
Hmm.
or they're trying so hard not to be that they're not actually promoting themselves enough. So it's almost like they're scared and they're holding back too much. So it's like that balance of promoting yourself so that you attract more opportunities, but without not doing it to the point where you're like, oh gosh, this person just thinks they're the coolest thing ever, and it's a
Yeah. Yeah, I
so,
would love to I'm gonna use the corporate term. I'm gonna circle back to that, put a flag in it, put a pin in it.
ooh, that voice
Uh,
is
do you
very
like it?
sexy.
Because I think there's a sweet spot there, right? I wanna talk
Yeah.
about that sweet spot that lives in the middle. So, Bobbie, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'd say the thing that I probably see the most often is speakers forgetting that they are there to solve a problem.
That's a
Mhm.
good one.
And they swing toward the self-indulgent, they have the long story and you're
Yeah.
like, "Get to the point." But I was actually just blogging recently and haven't finished this blog, so don't go looking for it yet,
Okay.
about how often in the audience will sit there and go, "This doesn't apply to me."
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is your story. This is your experience. And I think as speakers, sometimes we forget that we are there in service to that audience. We are there to help out. And unless we're doing that, what we're doing isn't really helping anybody.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. So I want to talk about both of these things that you both brought up because I feel like what I'm hearing is there's a sweet spot in the in between. Because just to reflect back what you just said, Bobbie, what I often hear is people get confused when I say people need to see themselves in your story. So people
Mhm.
will they'll make a choice. They'll either not share any personal story at all whatsoever. So I don't really know who you are, and I can't, and like I'm trying to figure out how to trust you as an audience member. And then there's the people who go over the top with the self-indulgent. I don't even know how to find myself in this because it doesn't relate to me at all whatsoever. So I feel like there's a craft to sharing your personal story to build the trust with the audience and simultaneously building that story so your audience can somewhat see themselves within the storytelling. So I would love to hear a little bit about how would you go about getting somebody to think as they're crafting their story to be thinking about story in relation to what I just shared and how to do that.
Yeah. I have to admit, it's like I spend a lot of time doing the exact same thing. Shorter, shorter, shorter,
Yeah.
shorter. And I think Storyworthy, the book, is an excellent one. If you haven't read it yet, speakers, I'm talking to you. Look for how you can remove characters, get your start closer to your finish. You should be able to tell a story in literally just a few sentences.
Yeah.
Do not keep going.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding as well when we tell people to show, not tell.
Mhm.
What happens is people just pile on the detail, and it's like, "That's not important, that's not important, stop it with the detail."
Yeah.
Tell a
Yeah.
story, but don't just keep piling on detail.
Beautiful. And I'm going to also add on to that too, which is the story can be spread out throughout the presentation. It doesn't all
Mhm.
have to be at the beginning of it. And you can use it as a way for metaphor or anecdotal purposes to help with a through line. But I agree with you. We don't need the whole enchilada in every detail at the beginning of the presentation. Beautiful. Thank you. Emily, any insights on that?
Yeah, I think that one of the other things I nerd out on is research. So if you that was my other thing I was going to say, but it still had to do with kind of what I do work-wise. But I always do a ton of research about the industry or the event, the organization, who's going to be part of, in the attending. If it's like a certain breakout session, do I know who's going to be in the audience? Can I figure that out? And then I look for ways to tell stories that actually apply directly to that
Mhm.
particular industry and that particular audience. So all of my presentations that I do, I customize depending on, like, I have the outline, but then I insert different types of stories or statistics, or I even pull pain points that I hear in other presentations that are happening before me. And I think that's one of the things people need to be comfortable with, being more on the spot and really customizing it. Again, it's not about you, it's about what you're giving to the audience. And so
Beautiful.
I found that to really, really work well. And we are storytellers if we're speakers. So we should have a ton of stories to tell. It shouldn't just be one or two. So we should be able to kind of mix and match
Yeah.
to customize it to whoever's listening.
Excellent. I love that so much. I always tell people to look at your talk or your presentation as Lego blocks, right? It is a framework that you have. You can pull one story out, insert another one, and the due diligence I think is really important as well. So thank you for that. Um, any other insights that you would want to offer, like Bobbie? Anything you heard that you would want to add to this conversation before we move on to the next thing?
I I have to admit, every time Emily is talking, I keep looking around for some place to, like, hit the little hearts or the like button, and this is not that kind of platform.
It's not, but we can do it. We can do the physical heart.
Thanks.
Oh, good
I don't even
Oh.
know
job.
if I made a heart right. I'm trying.
Oh.
Thank you.
Seriously, like, every time she opens her mouth, I'm like, "We're gonna be such good friends."
Be such
I,
good
I
fun.
feel the love too. The love it's here through the screen.
I love it. And these two hadn't met before now, and I feel like a matchmaker, and that makes me feel really happy and warm and fuzzy on the inside. So
And we
thank
love you
you.
too, Meredith.
Thank you,
Of
thank
course.
you, thank you. Awesome. Okay, so from a marketing standpoint, because I know that this is the number one thing that a lot of people come to me for, which is why I love the both of you, is how do I get more speaking gigs? That's my jam, is to help you sound better. My jam is to like give you improv tools so that you can be that adaptable person on stage and to get you to step into your leadership voice no matter what that platform might be. You both are here to like help us elevate, to get on more stages. Tell me, I'm a newbie. I'm an expert. I know that I can really do much better in my business if I used the stage as a gen lead. I'm not a social media person. Really help me out. What's the first thing you're going to tell me to do?
And yet I follow Meridith on
I was gonna
TikTok.
say, she's so humble. I feel like that she's being very humble right now. Well, do you want me to start? I can start. I mean,
yeah, like
there's
your newbies here. Like, tell me, what would I
yeah,
do first?
there's so many things you can do. I think that, when you're blessed to get booked for a speaking engagement, there's a lot more than just getting on stage that you have to think about. So I'll start there, and then there's so much more.
Right.
But it's the pre-promotion of whatever event or thing that you're doing. A lot of people don't do anything about that. They don't post about it. They don't connect with other speakers that are part of the event. They don't actually connect with the event organizers. That would be one tip of advice I would give, and I started doing that a couple years ago. Find, if you can, all the other speakers, the main event leadership team, and connect with them on LinkedIn. Set up virtual coffees if it makes sense. Usually if they're speaking at the same event as you, there might be something you have in common that you may be able to collaborate with, and I've gotten a lot more work just doing that. So pre-promotions, pre-event, then you need to knock it out of the park, obviously, at the event. Make sure you're more than on time, don't be late. Do above and beyond in your actual presentation. Don't just do bare minimum. And then make sure you're giving during that whole appearance. It's a performance, but you're on as soon as you walk in the door. So you're being friendly, you're talking to people, you're helping as much as you can. So that service aspect, I think sometimes we forget that. And we're just so focused on our performance that we forget, like, there's a whole room of opportunity here. And then after, that's where you need to make sure you're promoting on our social media, you're, connecting with whoever you met there, you're following up with leads. And forgot this, but during your presentation, if you're allowed to have some sort of offer, take advantage of that, obviously. And if you're allowed to have some sort of handout that gets you in their hands literally as they leave, and has helped me get booked for a lot more too. So that's just the actual performance part. I have a lot more I could talk about, but I'm going to let Bobbie, she probably has stuff to add on to that, and then we could talk more about other
Brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, Bobbie.
Yes, and and when I introduced myself, I didn't kind of give the big long introduction, but my day job is I run a marketing firm. That's how I make an actual living. For many years, I ran an event in Boston called Innovation Nights. So I have a day job, a night job, and Innovation Women is the dream job. It's the dream of getting more women on stage at conferences and events. But I also bought 2 more companies during the early days of the pandemic.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody engaged in retail therapy, right? Yes.
Yes, they did.
I was
I
chicken
think I
therapy,
still
but
do,
yeah.
Bobbie. I
Yep.
still do.
She was buying chickens, I was
Yeah,
buying
chicken
companies.
therapy.
So I bought My Speaker Leads, which is a research service for professional speakers, and I bought a digital magazine for women entrepreneurs. And all 5 separate entities really are focused on the same thing. It's driving visibility, and that visibility gives you so many opportunities. As a speaker, we need to create a foundation of visibility, whether that's writing a book, hosting a podcast, guesting on other people's podcasts, a blog, your successful life, your successful career. All of these things create credibility that you can then use to build on, to find opportunities, to have people finding you.
Yeah.
From a marketing standpoint, social media has been, both a blessing and a curse. It's a a constantly open maw that you have to keep stuffing stuff into. You have to maintain that level of visibility. And
Mhm.
all of the things that you're doing on that stage make great social media fodder. And there's nothing that says that you can't keep using the video you shot last month
Yeah.
or the pictures somebody took of you 2 years ago. Unless you look a little different, okay, fine. But you can reflect back to the presentation that you did 2 years ago. And oh, by the way, if you're looking for more opportunities, the best place to look is your own list of previous speaking engagements. Don't say, "I'm one and done." Go back,
Mhm.
look at that
Mhm.
list. Who needs to hear from you again? And I will bet you have changed your presentation. You have evolved, you have grown up, you have a new thing, and the people that loved you 2 years ago or 5 years ago are probably going to be the best options for you today.
Ooh, I love all of this. There's so much I wanna add. I'm gonna do the heart. We're doing the heart. Okay. There's so much I wanna add. I feel like my brain just did a ping pong match with itself. Uh, I cannot stress enough what you said too about, like, making sure you're getting content. I feel like
Mhm.
this is where it's very difficult for people on multiple levels. One, they could be very well intended, they wanna get the content, but for some reason, the event in which they're speaking at, they're not gonna have the videographer, they're not gonna have the
Yeah.
photographer there, right? So, how is it that you can advocate for yourself so that you can get that? Can you bring in your own videographer? Can you set up your own camera? That to have that is gold for speakers.
Yeah.
And the other issue that I find often is you do get the content, but it's not high quality, so
Yeah.
it's really difficult to use. So I'm always pushing my clients, like, I don't care, like, as much as you possibly can, you need to be getting the content so that you can use that to build your platforms. And then the other piece that you brought up is, you didn't say the word consistency, but I'm going to add the word consistency to this conversation, was showing up, right? So you, Bobbie, watch my TikToks. It is so hard to show up consistently for 5 years every day
Mhm.
and do a like a TikTok post and I sound redundant. I'm like, "Oh, I've done that and now I'm feeling." So, how do you build if you're that person who is getting, because I do get a lot of business off of being on TikTok and other platforms, um, how do you keep up the energy? Where do you get the fresh new ideas? So I'm going to also add, keeping up with what's relevant is super important, because you also said something about um, wanting to refresh, go back to those past clients that you've spoken for. Your talk is probably going to be different because the world is different, right?
Boy, is the world different.
Woo! Yeah. So, do either one of you have anything else to add to that? Because that was a lot of gold. I think we just added for somebody who is the newbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, Emily.
I mean, I call it the visibility trifecta, but it's essentially, there's speaking engagements, there's media interviews, there's podcast appearances, all of those things. And I have found personally doing those three things consistently, they seem to feed on each other. And then that gives you so much content for
Yeah.
social media. So that's why I'm so passionate about those three things, because it helped me grow my first business so fast. And as a speaker, I have not found a more effective approach to getting people to come to you than doing all those things. And the social media, it's like a breeze. If you're doing those three things consistently, you're going to have more content than you know what to do with.
Truth.
And
Mhm.
people are going to be posting about you so much. I mean, it's so cool when that starts to happen. And it's like every day you're being tagged in these other posts. And then that brings more opportunities. So becomes its own like attraction machine when you do those things consistently.
I love that. I think that's so true. And I also want to add, do your own events. Start your own podcast. Like, you know, I did an event last year, and I'm still a retreat, a live one with 15
Mhm.
participants in Denver called Unscripted, and I'm still seeing the ripple effect of that,
Yeah.
and it's also starting to build community. So if you can produce your own work and bring community to you, that's also, they go out and there's a ripple effect from
Yeah.
that as well. I'm curious if either one of you help people do that.
Yep. And we actually just started something last year inside Innovation Women. We called it Speaker Marketing Club. And Speaker Marketing Club is it's 16 total lessons, and it's me breaking down, frankly, years of marketing experience and also speaker experience and putting it into a program that people can follow along. We've also done something new inside Innovation Women just this year. We're calling, and to back up, we have a thing every week that we do on Zoom. It's called Speaker Friend Friday. And anywhere between 50 and 100 people every week just gather on Zoom and talk about
Mhm.
speaking. So we've been doing this for years. We have videos, we have the AI generated summary, we have the chat. They're all in the Innovation Women green room for anybody to go and look at. And we decided to create Speaker Friends Live because speakers need content. They need video, they need pictures. And I'm not going to lie, I keep seeing these really expensive programs
Oh,
for
yeah.
speakers to get video.
So
And
expensive.
it's
Yep.
prohibitively
Yeah.
expensive to do.
Crazy.
So we did Speaker Friends Live as an experiment. If I fill up a room with people and I ask everybody to point their cameras at the stage, we have fantastic cameras on our phones, people, video pictures, and then upload those video and pictures and give permission for them to be used by the
Mhm.
speakers. We had 14 speakers. We generated almost 2,000 pictures and videos.
That's awesome.
Now, some of them are from people like me. I'm the world's worst photographer, but even I get lucky every once in a while.
Yeah.
So we did bring a couple of my team members because I do have a marketing agency. I have 2 professional photographers on the team. So we had some great video and pictures. I have a laundry list of things I want to do differently next time,
Mhm.
but we've got good content and it costs people almost nothing.
That's incredible. Yeah, some of these programs are in the upwards of, like, $15,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've
It's
seen
insane.
I've seen anywhere from 5,000 to 25,000.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Ugh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was asked actually to sponsor the $25,000 one, and I said, "Why would you need a sponsor if you're
Yeah.
asking $25,000
So
a
what
person?"
does $25,000 get somebody?
A
Just a video?
weekend in a beautiful place
Okay.
where a crack team, including makeup artists and stylists and coaches, will make you look amazing on camera.
Okay.
Ugh.
Awesome. Well, you know what? To each their own. And I'm sure that everything serves a purpose, but not everyone can afford $25,000. So it's really
If
good
you
to
got
have.
if
Yeah,
you've got 25,000, burning a
go
hole in
for
your
it.
pocket,
Heck
come
yeah.
find me, I'll help you.
And bet
I
someone
was
better be
saying,
bringing me a smoothie. That's all
you
I
guys are
gotta
being so
say.
nice. I'm just gonna not be nice. That's crazy. Don't do that. That's
Don't do that.
insane. Take
Don't
that
do that.
money and spend it better. There's so many
Yes.
you could start, like, 3 businesses with that. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
I
there
could
are
start
much
about
more cost.
25,000 businesses
I
with
Well,
know,
that.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
host a when I host Unscripted with Jamar, right? And so we do I have my videographer there, I have my photographer there, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have your brand shots, you're gonna have your video. But it's a 4-day experience.
Yeah.
Plus you're getting marketing and branding and personal and like and that's I think it's starting at $3,900 or something,
Yeah.
right? But
Mhm.
it's like we're there for 4 days and it's more than just the video. It's also process, and how do you do this on your own? So I think that's the important piece, is like, how do you take the information and apply it so you don't have to come back to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot out there in the speaker world that are very expensive, over-promising, scams. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to see. It really is,
it's
Yeah.
really
and
hard to see.
I
I mean,
I've had
people
people come to me who have said, "I mortgaged my house. I
yeah,
ran up my credit cards to pay $13,000 to this organization that was gonna teach me to make
yeah.
$1,000,000 as a speaker," and I was like,
Oh, I did a whole post on that, but let's hear from Emily. I did a whole post on those
It's just
misleading.
I
Yeah,
think it's sad because it's people's dream,
yeah,
and anytime people this is, like, really one of their big dreams for their life, they're willing to do almost anything, and people take advantage of that, and I think that's so sad. I'm glad you guys brought that up because it's something that I've seen in a lot of the visibility coaching clients I work with. They'll come to me and they're like similar, they're saying like, well, this person can guarantee me a TEDx talk and it's only $15,000. And I'm like, number one, no one can guarantee you that. And number two, don't pay. That's insane. Do not do that. And so there's just so much of that you
mhm.
see. Um, and it's a shame because they are preying on people who have these big dreams and are their heart's in the right place, but these other people they're not.
yeah.
So
My, my advisor at one point advised me to make innovation women come with guarantees, and I said, "I cannot in good
no.
conscience do that."
No.
I can point to quite literally thousands of speaking engagements that people have gotten through Innovation
Right.
Women, but
Can't
I
guarantee.
cannot guarantee any
Yeah.
particular person their dream speaking engagement, and to do so, it's just not right.
Well, I was in the acting world for a very long time, and I used to teach kids a lot, and so parents would come to me often, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's this $6,000 program in LA where they're gonna put us and the kids in front of LA agents, and they're gonna get, you know, all of these guarantees," and it was just really it's really sad because those kids, I mean, like, we don't see those kids on TV. There were no
Yeah.
guarantees. A lot of the reason why speakers get work is because they put in the work.
Yes.
Point blank,
Yep.
period, hard stop.
Yep, it's all about the reps, people.
Yeah.
You have to have the practice, you
Yeah.
have to have the experience, and, you know, I look back 10 years ago at the speaking I did then, and I cringe. If you are not looking back at your earliest speaking engagements and cringing, you're not advancing.
Yeah, I love that litmus test. Beautiful. Emily, so do you, in your community, do you have ways where you help get people to advocate for themselves and build their own things so that they can attract the opportunities rather than just applying all of the time and getting the rejections, which is a part of the process?
Yeah, I mean, besides the opportunities they can post for, we do have our events, and part of that is educational. So we're bringing in experts, and we're literally having these very in depth conversations and things, teaching them about how to do the things that speakers need to know, to do. We just did a Meet the Press panel event in January. We had national, local media leaders sharing all these amazing insights about how to actually get booked for, top tier media. But I offer outside of that, I have a thought leadership program, and it's a course it could be a college course. That's how I envision it. Hopefully one day, you can take that online, or I do it guided, and that helps people that are a little bit newer to figure out how to really use their voice. And if they want to launch a podcast or they're trying to get on more stages, it's super helpful. And then that's where my visibility coaching comes into. If they don't want a structured program, and it's more like, hey, I want someone that's going to help me and walk with me on this path. I do that, monthly with a lot of people who need help kind of clarifying their message, how to really use these appearances, like we talked about, how to show up on social media. So all the things I did with my agency, I helped them in that way, and pitching. So I actually help them with direct pitching in that way. what I don't do is I do not book people directly. So
Yeah.
it's helping them learn how to do it themselves.
Beautiful. Thank you both. So talk to me a little bit now about, you say the booking. That's the other piece that people are always really curious about, the
Yeah.
bureaus and the agencies, and should I be a part of one? I feel like a lot of people don't take action because they feel paralyzed by all of the different things that they think they're supposed to do in order to be a speaker, where it's really just as simple as you just need to start showing up and not wait for perfection. That's my
Yeah.
belief in it. Uh, but tell me a little bit more about that person who's there, they're new, and they're like, "But how do I get on an agency? How do I get on a bureau? Is that gonna make or break me as a speaker?"
No, no, it
No.
won't. And that is actually a really common question we get at Speaker Friend Fridays. And
Mhm,
we actually had somebody today show up and go, I am brand new. What do I do?
Mhm.
And I was so proud. Somebody literally
love
raised
that.
their hand and said, you show up here. You
I
show up here every week and you absorb all of the questions that other people are asking and all of the knowledge that people are sharing. And we were all new once.
Mhm,
So, find other speakers that can be your speaker friend. It's it's a phrase I've been using for the last several years in Innovation Women because we do go farther together, and we will have somebody else who maybe they're a little bit ahead of us, or maybe they're a little bit ahead of us in just one area.
mhm.
Just having somebody else to kind of check things against. If you can bounce your ideas off somebody else who you can trust to say, "No, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't do that one." Or, "Oh yeah, that totally sounds like a scam to me too." Like,
Yeah,
these are your friends. These are the people who will help you.
beautiful, I love it, and it's a very, very giving group, which I really appreciate. There's no gatekeeping in your group. No
We try.
gatekeeping.
We try. I got on Threads, recently, and I was posting something, and I was said, if you're thinking about, "I wanna get paid to speak," call yourself a professional speaker because professionals get paid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And somebody popped in and said, "That's gatekeeping type language." And I was like, "Really?" And somebody else popped in and went, "No, it's not. Ignore him."
Yeah. No, ignore, ignore. Emily, how about you?
I mean, I think I agree with everything that you've said. With speakers that whether they're just getting started, especially the ones just getting started, they really need that support and that community. And I think we all, no matter what stage we're in, have imposter syndrome still. And
Yeah.
so, one of the things that you talked about too is like not being perfect. And I see that over and over again with the people that do hesitate the most. They're just so paralyzed with like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And I
Mhm.
also will point out too that that's where I see a lot of these scammer people. They love helping them feel like they're not ready
Yeah.
because then they can make more money off them. And so I love being the one that's like, you're ready. If you've had a successful business, if you've, done presentations, if you've been on podcasts or you've done, you're ready. You're ready now. You could get booked right now and you're fine. So
Yes.
it's like, don't be the person that's keeping them not ready just to, get more time with them or whatever. So I'm not perfect. And that's one of the things I always say. Like, I actually say it on stage a lot now. Like, I'm probably going to say the wrong word. Feel free to laugh at me, with me, whatever you want to do. It's fine.
Yep.
And it's funny when you like just take that off and then you just are freed up to just be whoever. You don't have to feel like so paralyzed in the moment too. And so
Ah,
that's one of the things I love doing is just
mhm.
helping people feel comfortable not being perfect. And even with your pitch, it's okay if you mess up. Fine. Learn from it, move on. But the
Yes.
worst thing you can do is to not try and to not show up because then you're just staying right here or you're even going backwards. Don't
Yeah,
have
and
that.
I say mess up and don't apologize
Yeah,
for it. Like,
have
own
fun.
it. Own it. Own it,
I
like,
wanna jump in on the
yeah.
authentic part.
Yeah.
One of the things that's going on right now is AI is everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And The videos are getting better, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm convinced I'm gonna get scammed by AI 100%
Probably.
Eventually,
because I
yeah.
look at those videos and I'm like, "Is that AI? Is it not AI?" But
Yeah.
you know what? The AI is too perfect, right?
Yeah.
And for a long time, the AI has been not perfect either, and we all look at it and go, "Oh, that's not right." But as we're going forward and it gets better and better, the only thing we're going to be able to trust is seeing a speaker right in front of us live, like
Yeah.
in-person events, reach out and touch me events are going to be the only thing we can trust.
Yeah.
So the more authentic you are, the more you are going to win in the marketplace as we go forward in this AI-centered world.
100%. And can I define authentic right now? Because I feel
Yeah.
like in my own Meredith kind of way, because I feel like we hear that word a lot and people get paralyzed by that word because they'll show up on stage and they'll be like, but I thought I was showing up authentic.
Mhm.
So for me, it's like I want people, if you can right now, write a list of all of the things that you're afraid to say out loud. Just write that list down. And then notice what that feels like in your body and then go through that list and go, in that list, what is the one thing that I could say from the stage? Just as a baby step. Because I think what we've done so well and what we need to start breaking is compartmentalizing the different parts of ourselves just for the sake of showing up in the name of professionalism or being the expert in the room or the leader in the room. Is that our audiences need to be able to feel us. They need to be
Mhm.
able to be a part of the conversation and feel like they have an entrance point into that conversation. But if you are just showing up and talking at them and not sharing what your fears and your desires and your failures are, then it's going to be very difficult for you to, using the word, authentically show up with your audience. So
Yeah.
I wanted to throw that out there because because of AI, I feel like is the beautiful response to AI is that we are actually embracing the messy. We are
Yeah.
embracing the imperfect. So take advantage of it
Yeah.
because this is our time. I truly believe that people want more human. They want more community. They want to be touched, just like you said, Bobbie. Like that's where we can trust is live events.
Yeah.
Yep, because
Until we
speakers are
until
gonna
we
be
can't. Until it becomes what a hologram.
Oh gosh.
I actually saw that recently.
Yes.
Oh
The
no.
speaker in a box on a stage.
No, stop it.
Yep, yep.
Stop. Well, and I also had a meeting with somebody who will make an AI version of me for $15,000.
Mhm.
Only 15,000. You should totally do that.
Just
I
15,000.
actually know somebody who can do it cheaper, but,
Just
I I wanna
15,000.
I wanna come back to
Sarcasm. That was sarcasm, y'all.
that
I
was
am an AI.
yes. Yep. The one of the things that you mentioned, the fears.
Yeah.
I recently heard about a speaker training, and I think this was a TEDx organization that was getting its speakers ready. And there's a lot of coaching, a lot of training that goes into
Mhm.
TEDx's. I did my TEDx without any coaching or training. Don't recommend.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Now people ask me to train them and coach them on TEDx's, and I'm like, you realize I didn't have any, right? Okay, so I'm making it up. But this particular TEDx organization did a training where they called it "What's the worst that could happen?" And everybody wrote down their speaker fear, and their fellow TEDx speakers made that fear come real.
Oh, goodness.
Amazing.
So
Oh
they
my
could
God, I might steal
see
that.
what it
Uh-huh.
felt like.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, can you imagine how powerful that
Woo.
is?
Ooh, and then how to work through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've all heard it. I always say to my speakers, I'm like, there's something will inevitably go wrong. It just will. It always does. It never goes the way that you thought it was going to go in your head.
I ca I was listening to the description of this. It's like, I tell a joke and nobody laughs. If that's the worst thing that could happen,
Hmm.
Oh my God, that's happened to me so much. I'm taking a
yes.
stand-up class right now. That is the most painful experience in a good way.
I did an improv class last night. So
You did? How
Yep.
was it?
Oh, it was great. I've done it before, and actually the trainer for this improv
Uh-huh.
class was my first improv person. So I hadn't seen him in like 7 years.
Oh, we need to figure out how to collaborate and do an in-person improv workshop. I would love to lead something like that for a bunch of speakers, but it has to
Neat.
be in person. I do it on Zoom every week,
Yeah, it's
and I
not quite
love
the
it, but it's
same.
just not the same. But it's magic. It's so much magic when you're in a room with a bunch of people doing
It
improv.
was magic, and it was
Ah,
just so great, and this was a meeting of the Private Directors Association.
okay.
So it was, the most straight-laced, uptight people you could possibly
Oh
imagine. I
my
love
goodness.
you all if you're listening to this. But having an improv class at the end of a panel on board readiness, brilliant.
That is brilliant. I love that so much. Well, my favorite times when I've taught improv is to engineers. I'll always walk in the room, get everyone in a circle. Everyone, you can just feel them tightening up and no one's breathing. And then in the next, like 10, 15 minutes in, they're like playing. It's so much fun. It's like someone just needed to give them permission to play. And I feel like that I want to say also to speakers, give yourself permission to play and have fun with your content. Even if the topic is serious, like there's still a way in where you can have a little bit of fun with it. And I have to remind myself of that even. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up here. This has been gold. So if you've been listening, what I'm encouraging you to do right now is to please follow Bobbie, please follow Emily. Please find out more about their communities. I will put links to both of their communities and their websites and information into the comments. So we're here live on YouTube and live on LinkedIn. So please take advantage of that, get to know them because there are so many amazing resources, these two women in particular, who really want you to succeed. And they're going to do what they can to make sure that that can happen because like we've said, it's not about being perfect. All you need to do is start. You are the expert, and it's about trusting that you have a story to tell and you have something to share, and that, yes, it's interesting and people do need to hear it. So please reach out to these two women. But before we say our final goodbyes and I play my awesome outro video, the same intro video, I would love to hear what is one final thing you would like to leave our listeners with to help move the needle forward? Emily.
I mean, just do it. Stop waiting, just do it. Not to steal the Nike slogan. I think that's still their slogan, but yeah, just
Okay.
do it. Stop waiting.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you, Emily.
That's what I was going to say.
Dang
So,
it. Sorry.
ditto.
That's it. Let's
Emily,
do it together.
Emily,
Let's do a
okay,
chorus.
Emily, high five.
Yeah, high fiveys. There you go. New besties.
Why does my hand look so big? Jeez.
Giant hand.
I don't know. It is kind of weird. Okay, so on the count of 3, we're gonna all just say, just do it. And I don't care if we get sued. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Just
do it.
Thank you so much. You're both awesome. Here we go.